worry about early mornings. We almost never get breaking news. The second day, right down there at 77.
But it might be an
Guy
element.
gets pulled over by the cops. Closes his window down. Guys see right in. Pulls out a gun. Boom. Bullet. Whizzes right past the policeman.
Holy cow.
He dives out of the way. A couple of shots fired. Sheriffs, police, highway patrol, shut down 77. I don't think he came on all this property. I recall seeing him.
I think that'll be good.
That wasn't too long ago, was it? That was,
January.
yeah, because I had to drive past all that on my way in from Rexville. Yeah, and then, you know, filled me eventually. Hey. No gear. I know.
Yeah, it's Russian nine, we've already had that.
I'm putting for the live stream to our Facebook. Oh, I can do it.
That's what they're gonna have.
Water bottle.
Yeah, outside. Catch your breath.
Yep.
Is it wrapping up?
I got accused for something I didn't do. I was living with my brother.
Do you guys want me to pull my flag down? I can do that.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You all right?
Yeah, it should be fine, unless the guy's really short or whoever speaks.
All right.
He was trying to hurt me. So I had to
Hey,
I agreed with something I could do. So I ended up with it.
Because they're probably milling around down here.
I had to get away from it. I
It's
didn't want
really
to
not like knocked out the window, but I feel like they're all gonna need someplace to stay.
And I should tell the other older brother.
I'd just be like, hey, are you safe? Like,
I'll still testify. I can
No, she did give the story.
I have
same thing.
a
And I'll do
It was
it.
last year.
Okay. So you'd be ready for that.
Yeah, and I had really bad flashbacks in the bedroom that one day something happened. And so that he was constable, shot, because he was trying to hurt me. I was trying to reach, you know, so did my other brother. I was behind my back. And my brother was
She did it herself. I didn't need to. But
So I know for you, I still, you know, I'm going back.
Getting
story.
Because recently, I had chest on the heat. Recently, and I had to go to the hospital. Like, I couldn't breathe.
I go around like 4 times to make sure it's the right place. She signed? I saw that too because I went up that back way before. It's like a little patio or something. There you go. She had shot 2 stories. She had one scheduled for yesterday. She had to cancel it. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to use it. August 2nd. 2 more weeks.
Right there.
Because they were tested at the secret. It's like Fox, you know, they attached to CBS.
Right, like there's something.
It's all like, flower like she's really like like a bunch of like I did this. Yes, sir. Yeah, no.
Was there something I said?
Well, I didn't want to sit in front of you. Sorry. No, not at all.
Videographer.
Sharif is on the plane right now.
Finally put that $30,000 degree to use. Well, that's how much I have. Like, compared to me a little bit, I got some scholarships, I got stuff. I let her, I think we did not know who was the
I think there's going to be a culture clash.
So you think that that's a decent number of people that, but, did you decide not to take up that offer or? Great, thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What they asked you about the 600 plus? Yes, when you work alone, that's easy to. Listen, you know how many legs you can buy instead of one car? Chances are, like, if you're watching TV, your star channel 8 or 5, I'll be on. Make sure you see me.
Do they want me to just read them out?
No, I'll introduce everyone. So you can sit down right here.
Wow. Excuse me, because I'm wearing somebody else's glasses. Yeah, I don't know.
I forgot mine, so you're one step ahead of me.
Yeah, this is like terrible. I'm trying to do this.
And I would really end if we are in solidarity.
Oh, no, I'm
I'm gonna go turn on all our mics.
Okay.
Folks, I don't know if we're going to be speaking from here. I think we'll be speaking from the table. So I don't know if folks want to move this over.
It'd be a lot easier to have them come up to the middle to speak, because we're gonna have to be shuffling mics back and forth.
Are you all cool coming up here to speak?
Yes.
Okay. You good? Okay, then we'll do it that way.
Thank you.
Just here, kick. Yes,
I spelled the name. Because you're watching the news.
Thank you, my favorite subject. You may sit now.
He told me to something. They're not going to shoot him. Just lay him on the ground. Lay him on the ground.
I think we're going to come up here and. Good morning, everyone. We thank you for coming out today in this sad but courageous stand people are making. My name is Chris Nestrick. I'm the Executive Director of the Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless. We are an advocacy, education, organizing, and street outreach nonprofit in our community that seeks to eliminate the root causes of homelessness by loving our community. Yesterday, we received a call from individuals staying here at the Ramada requesting that NEOCH would come and support an organizing effort for folks to stay at the hotel given the current pandemic happening and how unsafe congregate living is. We were out here yesterday talking to folks, and today folks are here to announce that they do not plan on leaving and to make specific demands to the county, particularly Armand Budish and LMM, about providing them services. We're not the best at press conferences in a short notice, so thank you all for bearing with us. We have some gentlemen here that are going to offer remarks around why they're here and what they want, and then kind of as people speak, we'll kind of be able to ask questions later after everyone's spoken. Does that sound good? All right. So I'm going to invite Ronald up to come up to the microphone and speak.
Okay. Y'all really gonna have to forgive me because these are not my glasses. Wow. Okay, dear Cuyahoga County Executive Armand Budish, we are unhoused men currently stand at the Ramada Inn who are refusing to leave the Ramada Inn when Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry plans to cease operation on Thursday, July 15th. 52 of 103 men who feel unsafe returning to the streets or congregate settings at 2100 Lakeside Avenue. The pandemic remains a serious risk for people experiencing homelessness, and the long road to recovery is just the beginning. The county is forcing us into congregate living while variants of COVID-19 remain present, which places them in an impossible decision. Sleep on the streets or risk our lives in congregate emergency shelter. The Delta variant has now become the dominant strain in Ohio, and doctors have confirmed that the strain is 50% more contagious than the COVID-19 and spreads exponentially faster. We are experiencing some of the hardest days of our lives, and they deserve dignity, respect, hospitality, and love. 52 of the 103 men staying at the Ramada Inn have committed to remain at the Ramada Inn despite the planned departure of Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry. In full solidarity with the guests who are refusing to depart, we are asking the Cuyahoga County under Armand Budish's leadership and Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry, to do the following. Honor the original contract date of August the 13th to keep the Ramada Inn as a designated congregate emergency shelter location. Continue supporting LMM so that they can continue serving as the lead service provider for food, security, and on-site social service needs. Ensure that there are no interruptions on housing applications and housing plans for guests. Ensure that the county communicates directly to the guests of the Ramada Inn and address the issues of the loss of beds from young adults at North Point Shelter to make space for the men that are moving into that location. The road to recovery from this pandemic must be grounded in racial equality and inclusion. It is an absolute failure of the county to place the ideas of property and profit over human life and dignity. Now is the time for leaders and communities to stand up and allow human dignity and love to be your compass. So it's about the size of Ronald Freeman. Ronald Freeman.
And spell your last name.
Freeman. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Next up we have Derek.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Derek Brown. I've been here approximately 4 months, okay? And I'd just like to say that since I've been here, the people that run this place, they've been very good to us. You know, there isn't that much static about, you know, them being bad or anything like that. Just a few things that they could straighten out, you know, a few people that's working here and such and such. Wow, forgive me, I'm just, I'm not used to speaking. But, you know, one thing I would like to say is thank you guys for coming out. You know, we truly needed your help. And that's basically pretty much about it. Thank you very much.
My name is Peter Marrero. Since the other hotel, I've been making some good friends, and the reason why I want to stay here is because if I go out there in the hot heat, my chest, I have chest problems because recently I had to go to the hospital because of my chest. Because if I get too much heat, my chest will start hurting really bad, and then I want to be able to breathe. So, plus, if I did go to North Point, the rooms are hot there because I did go last year. I did go for an interview there, and when I stepped in to check out the rooms was hot. I couldn't stay there because how hot it was there. So I'm really hoping that the county and whoever helps us stay here, because I'm sure most of the people and the clients here doesn't want to go back to 2100 because it'll take a while for them to get us a bed to lay in, because it'll take a while, and plus they'll have us sleep in a church in a gym on mats, and that's one painful way to sleep. So that's all I wanted to say. And again, my name is Peter Marrero. Thank you.
I know there's some individuals from the hotel that would wish to speak also.
Thank you. Hello, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. My name is Deborah Michelson. I'm a lawyer, and I represent the hotel, and I'll just be brief. I cannot. I'm sorry, I'm a little upset. I find this extremely upsetting. I can only imagine how you all feel about this as well. This is on behalf of the hotel. In April of this year, Mr. O'Mara, the owner of the business here, answered the governor's call to arms, one of few who did so, and provided temporary shelter and housing for a population in great need of it. It was to the benefit of the population, the benefit of the community, and of course the benefit of the business and the business community. I don't have to tell you that it's been quite challenging since then. There have been, let's say, many people who appear to be against against you all being here and Mr. O'Mara and his staff doing his part to make you feel welcome. And we are very sorry about that. And we hope you understand that the hotel has really done everything that we can do to facilitate you guys remaining here. The hotel is abiding by the terms of its contract with Lutheran, which requires the hotel to provide temporary shelter and housing for these guests through August 31st of this year. We expect our contracting partners to also honor their contract with us. We call on all county and city officials to support this local business and this endeavor to help people have a safe, decent place to house during the COVID crisis. Honestly, the city and the county should be doing everything it can to provide decent, safe, affordable housing to everybody, whether there's a COVID crisis or not. The COVID crisis, of course, makes it a little bit more pressing. The alternative of moving you all into crowded shelters, from what I read in the papers, 4 men in an 8x8 pod, this is not safe. This is not humane. This is unacceptable, and it honestly is confounding when there is space in a decent, safe, clean place for you all to be, and that is already contracted to provide you that space. We are confounded by it. We don't understand the rush to move you all out of here and into crowded facilities. Maybe someone one day will explain that to me. It hasn't been explained to me yet, and believe me, I have. I've asked. And you know, my job, I am the lawyer for the hotel, right? That is my client, and I am here on the hotel's behalf. But I assure you that we are deeply troubled. I'm trying to find the right word. Deeply troubled by the shuffling of human beings and treating you all with less than the respect and dignity that you, like every human being, deserves. And I just wish people understood that but for the grace of God, go any of us, all of us, and people who are on hard times or need help should be able to get that help in a dignified and respectful way. And we, the hotel, is proud and honored to be able to help do that. And really good luck, and thank you so much, and Godspeed.
Ronald wanted to say a couple more words.
Thank you. This city, independent, this is a little big city. This is a city with a big heart. We haven't had any problems with anybody in the city. I love this city. I love this location. I love these people here. And I feel grateful for the respect that they've shown us. You know, I feel grateful for the things that people have done for it. I think that people look at homeless people and they think about dirty, grungy people laying in the gutters and stuff. They think that a lot of us aren't even worth the effort, but you're wrong and stuff. I mean, I don't have a PhD. I don't have any degrees from college or anything, but intelligence doesn't have to do with PhDs or anything. Intelligence has to do with what God gave us. A PhD or something like that, that just means that you know something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're intelligent. And a lot of us in here, we're trying to get our lives together. You know, we're trying to get jobs and stuff. We're trying to get out of here the right way. And I think we do deserve some dignity because we human beings. We Americans. I'm an American. We the people. That's all of us. That's just not politics. I don't know, you know, what the mayor going through. I mean, maybe he need to take a chill pill or something because it ain't that serious. We just trying to stay somewhere so we can stay. I was in 2100 the first time the COVID virus came through there, and it was terrifying. I was lucky that I didn't get it. That's when they started rushing everybody out to these motels and hotels. Now they want to reverse the effort and put us back in the same situation that they were taking us out of. I don't understand that. I mean, that don't make logic to me. Do anybody understand it? Because it don't make sense to me. And all I wanted to say is the people who stand here, I appreciate the lawyer. She was wonderful. It was beautiful the way she spoke up for us. And we just trying to find somewhere to stay so that we can get somewhere to stay permanently. And we appreciate the hospitality of this city. We appreciate the hospitality of the people here. And thank you all so very much.
Hey, the nerves are starting to settle down, everyone. I think Peter wanted to say another word.
And I just wanted to say another reason why I don't want to go back to the shelters is because I had a friend in one of those shelters, and then one day another one of my friends called and said that one of my friends was someone ended up finding one of my friends beat to death in an abandoned building, and that just. Believe it or not, I'm sorry to say this, but the shelters are not safe because people can get hurt. And when I found out that my friend got beat to death, I didn't know what to say. I was just really shocked. Like that's why I don't want to go back to shelters. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, my name is Chris Nestrick. I'm the Executive Director of the Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless. Today, men are standing up for themselves. They've been moved 4 different times throughout the pandemic, trying to find a safe place to just rest and sleep. The county capitulated to segregation and racism in a time when they declare racism as a public health crisis. If there is not a time to stand up against segregation, structural racism, white supremacy that continues to target POC communities and continues to target people experiencing homelessness, if that time is not now, it is not never. And so I'm asking our communities, people of goodwill, the county council, David Merriman, from HHS, Armand Budish, to step up and find a compass and live into the declaration that you made to declare racism as a public health crisis. Because there's no clearer connection today when we know that 80% of people that are entering into the homeless system are black people in our community because of a history of housing policy and racial segregation, to stand up to say we are no longer allowing suburbs to segregate themselves from the people that have the right to walk through them, to go to their restaurants, and to stay in their hotels. And it saddens me that it's the people here today that are willing to stand up for their rights And the people that have not had to worry about sleeping in a congregate shelter, sleeping on the streets of Cleveland, sleeping in a ditch, sleeping under a bridge, sleeping on an RTA station. It saddens me today that those people are the people that are refusing to stand up. But the people that are struggling to survive, to simply survive and sleep in a place that is safe, free from the pandemic, and they don't have to risk their lives, those people are the people that always have to stand up, to say no more. Frederick Douglass says, power concedes nothing without demand. And people here are demanding for their rights to safety, to emergency shelter, and to dignity. And we ask that the world, the people in the community hear us. We ask that the county hears us. We ask that they come out here. The demand is that they come out here and they meet with us, hopefully by 12 o'clock. Nonprofit organizations need to heed this call. The ask is clear to Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries. Do not leave today. Do not abandon these people in the midst of a pandemic. The call is clear to LMM, to the county. Do not abandon these people. And NEOCH, the Northeast Ohio Coalition of the Homeless, stands side by side with them in solidarity to tell LMM, to tell the county that they need to provide these people the services they deserve. The reality is, there was money offered as a housing deferment for people to go and find another place to stay. There was a letter sent out to everyone that lives here saying that the police could come, that LMM is leaving, you will be on your own. And people yet want to stay here. And so the ask is clear. LMM, do not leave us alone. Provide services to us. The county, make sure LMM is equipped with the money and the personnel to provide services to your people that are staying at the Ramada Inn. So I guess we're willing to take questions from media.
For people who may not be familiar with the situation, what is exactly the cause of why they may not leave?
So the county had entered into a contract with the Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry to provide decongregate shelters to people that are experiencing homelessness in
Would you
their
mind
community.
standing up in front of the
Oh,
house
yeah,
again?
thanks.
Thank you very much.
I wish Debbie was still here because she could speak more to the contract. But and so, you know, for a variety of reasons, folks have been moved around to different hotels throughout the pandemic, right? And they ended up here with kind of the warm welcome of the owner of this hotel. And they were staying here when the mayor of Independence found out and was upset about it. And what occurred after that is, as we understand it, is that the mayor called the county executive and had a conversation with the county executive. And during that time, in that conversation, there was a commitment that Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries would no longer provide services at the Ramada Inn to the people staying there. And at the same time is that no new people could enter into this hotel that were experiencing homelessness, right? Which is a whole nother issue, right? Because people have been flooding into the system. And so we had people traveling here to get in that were denied entry, that had to sleep on the streets for days. Many people were waiting for another place to go and they didn't have it. So they decided to sleep on the streets because they were afraid of congregate living. And then so the rule came down from the county to tell LMM that they have 30 days to evacuate the hotel or find a new hotel to stay in, right? That was one of the options. And so kind of in their best interest of their people, our understanding is that people look for other hotels. They were not able to really find any other hotels that would be willing to accommodate this many people during the pandemic, particularly because of the people that they were serving. And then they were able to negotiate another 30 days. And so one of the things that have been said is that there is and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm going to butcher this, but there is a law that says people can't stay in one room in a hotel for more than 30 days. and they would be able to, so they would also be able to move rooms after 30 days and be in compliance with the law. The county is saying that law has prevented them from being able to stay here. And so today, marking 30 days, every one of these individuals could go to a new room, which is not a huge feat, right, logistically, and they would be totally in compliance with the laws of the community and the state. And so, you know, over that, and so yeah, that's kind of the whole story that as we understand it. I mean, and then so that's what happened.
So can I ask, what was going to happen after August 31st?
Someone want to answer that? What was going to happen after August 31st?
I mean, if you have that answer, you know, do you have any details of what you were hoping was going to happen?
Yeah. Do anyone else want to answer this, or do you want me to? Okay. What do you want to happen after August 31st?
I don't know, you know, for everybody else, but I mean, they are supposed to be trying to find us housing. And they should be able to find us housing before them, because they found me a place to live, so I'm not going to be here too much longer. So this place served its purpose for me. But what about everybody else? Because that is really a good question. If they don't find them housing by then, what are they going to do with them?
And that's been the commitment, that they're going to find everyone housing?
That's what this is supposed to be about. At the end of the day, that's what they're supposed to do for us. They're supposed to find us housing. And then everybody's problem will be solved, because we won't be here. We'll have places to live.
And has there been any explanation on the county or the mayor's part that they feel like the pandemic's better, people can get vaccinated? I mean, what has been their kind of explanation of why they think it's a safer thing to do?
What, being here?
Going back to shelter.
Going back to shelter.
You know what, the new virus that they have coming out, you know, they say that, you know, I heard rumors that the shots that you had won't really be effective, and you have to get some kind of booster shot. But I mean, if you got a lot of guys, and you're telling these guys to wear masks, and they're in close proximity like this, the shots, it don't make a difference with it. It's not going to do anything. It's going to spread through there like it did the first time, like wildfire, because those guys aren't going to wear those masks in there. So they just putting everybody back in their situation, and they lucky that nobody died the first time we were in there. Because I got out of there, I went to a hotel on my own, and then I went back to another hotel that they were putting everybody in, because I wasn't staying in there. So they trying to put everybody in the same situation again. It don't make sense. It don't make common sense. It don't make sense. Yeah, it don't make sense.
I would just say that I think I think what we've realized through the pandemic, and what is something we've all said, and most of these people would probably testify to that, is that emergency shelter for human beings should not be in a warehouse, right? We should not warehouse human beings, ever. And we knew that going back in the day, and what the pandemic has shown is that that's true. And so I think there needs to be some really intentional thought about reshaping our homeless service system, that we are no longer committed to warehousing 300 men in one, or 250 women in one shelter, right? And I think there's money coming into our community through the American Rescue Plan that makes that a possibility today more than ever. And I think I have seen leadership on this fact from, you know, from the county, from the Office of Harvest Services, from Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries, to begin to think about how to redesign our system in a way that actually is humane and protects people from pandemics. I don't know if that's helpful.
Sure. I do have one question. Can you, kind of piggybacking off of that, can you just tell us how many people have actually stayed here? Like a rough estimate, maybe?
I would say, I think the max they had was 155 that they moved in here before the mayor of Independence and Armand Budish made the declaration that no more homeless people can come to this community.
Could we get is there a maybe there was a point living in the hotel where everything, a day like any other day, and then suddenly you find out that you are going to have to leave. Could anyone describe that personal, that personal experience?
Does anyone care if they do it?
For me, when they said we were leaving, it was depressing, and it felt like no matter what you do to do the right thing and to help yourself, it's like people do things to you. It's on purpose. I mean, it's like they want you to fail. Maybe that's a thing that they want, because they have a whole bunch of homeless people and they got a whole bunch of shelters and they get a whole bunch of money for that and stuff. I mean, there's no sense in changing it. Let's keep the program going and going and going and stuff, because they don't try to help us. And I mean, when they said that we had to leave, it was like, what's the point of all of this? What's the point of it? What's the point? I am trying to better myself. I was locked up in prison for 30 years, man. And I came out of there and started experiencing homelessness after I got out of prison. But I got out and I was like, I'm capable of doing the right thing for myself. I'm capable of changing myself. I'm capable of being a productive member of society. I helped a girl get off crack one time. And I did that by myself. I help people here as much as possible, and it's good when I do this because it really helps them. But if they moving us around like that, sometimes it makes me feel like nothing is worth it. Like why? Like I said, what's the point? Because it don't make you feel like you're human.
Two more questions?
I think, on my end, in conclusion, there are veterans here, people that have served this country that deserve better treatment than this. There are people that have worked their whole lives in jobs that have destroyed their bodies that deserve better treatment than this. There are people that are in wheelchairs. There are people struggling with all sorts of issues, and they deserve a space to be safe from COVID-19 until we can guarantee that we're able to provide safety to them. And this hotel is here and ready to do that. These people want LMM to provide services to them. Why they are here? They want the county to provide the resources to LMM to be able to do that. They didn't want any retaliation against them for their actions today. They want to make sure that the beds at North Point, a shelter mostly for young adults in our community, are not taken up by them. I heard someone today say that I don't want to go to North Point. One of the reasons is that is a shelter for young adults in our community, and because they can't figure out a solution for these men, they're taking up beds from young people that are experiencing homelessness in our community, and that is wrong.
Where are they taking those people? Where are they taking the people who are
I think they've, I don't know exactly that answer, right? That's a good question. But I think what's happening is that these beds are being allocated and they're empty, and those beds could be filled by young adults, and they're not going to be. So I ask you as media to go and demand answers from LMM of why they will not serve these people. I ask you to demand answers from the county of what are they going to do to respond to this crisis. And I ask you to invite you to hang out here and meet these folks. They're beautiful people, and talk to them.
Yes.
And we'll be here. So, thank you.
Our sign is awesome. Make sure you make that sign look good, everyone. Good job. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Brian?